Capricorn, welcome to your rest of 2025 tarot reading by Astrology House. And so what I'm going to do is go through all the houses, do a tarot reading, starting right away with the first house. So the first house here is the house of self. It's your physical person, how people see you when they first meet you. For you, it's in the sign of Capricorn. So let's jump in and see what your overall energy is for you for the rest of the year. One more. Okay, we'll take them. I kept getting multiple, so we'll take them. I'm getting the Hanged Man energy, and so Pisces energy. This is about seeing things from a different perspective. Something here is shifting. You're going through an ascension process. That's what the Hanged Man is all about. So being able to see things from other points of view, really that big picture perspective, that kind of 5D perspective of the entire situation. I'm getting the Ace of Cups, which indicates a new chapter, new beginning, something that aligns with what you want. The Moon card here, the Moon's your emotions. And so whatever was hidden beneath the surface, being in that Hanged Man energy gives you the point of view where you're able to see everything that's hidden. It's the depths of your emotions that are coming through with the Moon card. Something about that. We're going to keep going. I have the Four of Cups also showing up here too. So the Four of Cups, I'm really drawn to the Ace of Cups. So there could be an offer that comes in out of the blue. Take it as it resonates. That's not going to be applicable for everybody, but I am getting the sense of any past sadness and disappointment. You are being given an opportunity to really understand what that was, how it's impacting you, and how to really work through it. So let's get the obstacles or challenges for you in your first house. Yes. So I'm getting the Ten of Cups, which is long-term emotional fulfillment. It's also a card of marriage. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is clarity. And the Seven of Swords, lies, manipulation, and deceit. And really the whole point of the Hanged Man is to help you overcome these obstacles and challenges because they're holding you back in some way. There is some sort of truth around the situation that feels like needs to come to the surface, needs to be addressed. It was hidden beneath the surface. It had an effect on you emotionally in the long run. So I'm almost getting an emotional stunting of your growth, but that doesn't feel like it's an accurate depiction. It's not allowing you to achieve the full success that you want. You keep trying to move in this direction and you keep hitting these internal roadblocks. And that's what it's meant to show you, where those exist, what you need to do in order to address it. Let's get the advice here for you. What else do you need to know? Tell me more. So this could be connected to love and relationships and just the way that you see those kind of long-term relationships, the impact that you have, the amount of emotional vulnerability that you've been willing to put out there from a relationship standpoint. I'm getting the Knight of Pentacles. And so get into the details of this. Learn as much as you can about this wound and how it's holding you back and really what the cause was so that you can find a way to work through it. Because I'm also getting the Ten of Pentacles. So two cards out here indicating marriage with the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. So it's affecting your long-term happiness and stability. And so really, again, focus on what matters. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? What kind of life do you want to live? Then go into that Hanged Man energy and really get into the details. Okay, well, what is happening? Why can't I achieve that? What's holding me back here? Because again, it's coming back to your emotions with this King of Cups. And this is emotionally working through whatever this obstacle is so that you can have the life that you want to live. This King of Cups is a lot of emotional maturity. So that's your first house. First house, light reading. We're just going to jump right into the second. So the second house here is your finances. So think of your bank account. This would be the money that you already have. Any kind of assets, anything that you have that's worth value. Value could be monetary value. It can also be sentimental value. It's what you love and value is part of that second house energy. And the second house for you is in the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius indicates here that if you're saving money, you might be going about it in a different way. The Aquarius does not like the conformity of Capricorn. And so it's a free thinker, lots of flexibility, thinking outside the box. So you might get creative. So you might get creative in the ways that you're saving money, or just maybe even the type of people that you go to for advice on how to save money. It's that out of the box. So let's get your overall energy here for the second house. So I'm getting the Hermit, Virgo energy. So a lot of reflection, a lot of reflection. I'm also getting healing. So there might be something around the structure of your finances or what you love and value that does need to be reevaluated, considering your emotional needs that just showed up in the first house. I'm also getting the moon here. Yeah, there's something with your emotions that's coming through. A lot of things seem to be hidden beneath the surface already, and it's connected to your emotions and healing. So something is structured in such a way that doesn't allow you that growth and expansion that you really want here, because the star is also coming through. So the star is your emotions, It's healing, but it's also going after your goals and dreams. I'm very hung up on the moon and the star. We have Virgo energy, Cancer, and this Aquarius. These are all major cards. And it feels like what you want to achieve is absolutely possible from a financial goal standpoint. It's just a matter of you doing the internal reflection that you need emotionally in order to heal from something so that you can go after your goals and dreams. But absolutely, it's possible. So you might be experiencing some major changes as it relates to your financial stability, whereas it's increasing, it's improving. Let's get your obstacles and challenges. One more. So I'm getting the sun. So the sun is really highlighting what you're not able to see. And it's the moon. I've got the sun. The moon hides things in shadow. The sun wants everything out in the open. And so that's the obstacle and challenge here, is that it's hidden beneath the surface. And so you're really going to have to dig deep and figure out whatever this emotional wound is that needs to be healed. I'm getting the Five of Cups, a shift in perspective. I'm getting a lot of survive versus thrive. So if you have been in survival mode where you've just been really stockpiling money or kind of doing whatever you need to in order to get by, it's shifting your mindset here. This wound is not allowing you to shift your mindset into this thrive, this growth mentality. And so that's something here that's operating as a roadblock or an obstacle or challenge. 10 of Cups is coming through again. So 10 of Cups, long-term emotional fulfillment. This could also be connected to a marriage, so take it as it resonates for you. But there's something here that needs to shift so that you can open yourself up more to emotional abundance and that growth that you're going after. What is the advice here for your second house for the rest of the year? So I'm getting the Seven of Wands, which is about you fighting for what you want. And what you want is to walk away from anything that doesn't serve you here with the Eight of Cups. And the universe is saying, Empress energy, Venus, it's harmony, it's balance. It's focusing on what you love and value. And so it's closing this wound. It's finding a way to heal from whatever keeps you in that survival mode versus in that growth and thrive mentality. That feels like what needs to happen here. But it also feels like this is work that you're going to be doing over the next 6 months as you kind of move through the next, the entire 6 months, because it feels a little bit at a time. The more that you're aware, the more that you heal. And it's a slow moving process here. So the next house for you, or in general, is the third house. And that third house is communication. It's also how you process information. It's also connected to siblings, early childhood education, your neighbors. Anybody that's kind of in close proximity to you would be part of that third house. It's short distance travel, so anything that you can do by car. Your third house is in the sign of Pisces. Pisces is a very intuitive energy. And so you might find from a communication standpoint that it's easy to anticipate the needs of another person or almost predict what they're going to say, and kind of, it's that energy. It feels like there's more. There's a lot of empathy. So when it comes to the way that you interact with other people, you're not just anticipating maybe their emotional needs, but it's your response to those people. It's your understanding their point of view. I'm getting a lot of the communication. It's the intuition. Your intuition when it comes to interacting with other people here is very strong. And with that Pisces energy, because we are currently in the Pisces Virgo eclipse season, the North Node is in the sign of Pisces. So there are lessons connected to this that you need to learn. This is part of your growth. We've already been in this energy for about 6 months, and we're going to be in this until the middle of next year. So we're there. We're just going to keep going. Let's get your overall energy for your communication for the rest of the year. One more. So I'm getting the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. This indicates success. So when it comes to your communication, a lot of success here. But what you're overcoming, because that Chariot does overcome something, some sort of battle, I'm getting the Nine of Wands. And so if you've been blocking yourself, or you've created some sort of barrier because you're protecting yourself, there's a wound here with that Nine of Wands energy, you're going to overcome it. King of Swords, you're going to find a way to work through it. The working through it feels like it might happen in conversation with other people, or it's about something in understanding other people's needs and just kind of almost stepping back from a situation. It's this King of Swords where it feels like you're able to remove yourself from the conversation, see it from the other person's point of view. So whatever they're telling you, even if it doesn't directly affect you, you're understanding their needs, and that helps heal and overcome some sort of wound that you have. So let's get, and that could also indicate in general that maybe your communication and the way that you help other people, you're helping other people clear through their own wounds. I'm getting guiding light. There's something about a guiding light here as well. So take it as it resonates. You might be a guiding light for one other person or multiple other people. Let's get the obstacles or challenges here for your communication. These are not real obstacles and challenges. I'm getting the Six of Wands. It's a card of success. It's overcoming obstacles and challenges. This just feels like it's going to take some time. That any kind of wound here, especially if you're healing your own wound in and through these conversations, that's just something that's going to take time. The Star is showing up here. I'm getting growth connected to your goals and dreams. And so it is. You're going to need to work through whatever this barrier is. You will, though, because I see it happening with that Chariot energy and that King of Swords. So it's just a matter of timing. Strength card, finding the strength and the courage within yourself to not only recognize the wound, but really actively work to heal it, to find a way to kind of resolve and dismiss it. That's how the energy is coming across. Let's get the advice here for you in your third house. So I'm getting the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups, I'm getting harmony and balance with this card. So if you're in a relationship, maybe it's talking to your person, finding a way to work through this together, especially if you do have a relationship wound. I'm getting the Three of Pentacles. So teamwork, collaboration. It's definitely working with another person. Page of Wands, taking some sort of action. you're going to need to do something here in order to kind of clear through this. But then also it's working with other people, continuing to work with other people, putting yourself out there, not being afraid to talk about whatever happened, whatever it is that you're experiencing, however it's impacted you. That's all the advice here for you. So that's the third house. The next one is the fourth house. So that fourth house is the house of home. Now, your home environment, your dwelling, even your childhood home, that's all part of the fourth house energy. So think of what kind of structures do you have in place? Where do you actually live? Where did you grow up? What about your ancestors? What about where you want to be at the end of life? And so all of that is fourth house. For you, it's in the sign of Aries. Aries is a very strong, independent energy. And so when it comes to your home environment, you probably just like things the way that you like it. You're not interested in kind of appeasing everybody here. It's about you. So let's get your overall energy for your home environment. Okay. So I'm getting the Five of Pentacles here, leaving something out in the cold. You may be moving or considering some sort of move. The Five of Pentacles is a card of change. And so if you're considering moving to a new location, I'm getting that here with that Five of Pentacles. Six of Cups, a card of nostalgia. And this could be connected to your childhood or just trying to recapture some sort of happiness here. And in recapturing this happiness, you do need to let something go. Justice card, finding balance. Ten of Swords, done with a painful cycle, releasing any kind of past pain. So if you're carrying around childhood wounds or you're carrying around any kind of pain, or you structured your home environment in a way that doesn't allow you to really kind of work through any past pain, that all seems to be changing. You're releasing the pain of the past. You're letting go of maybe something connected to childhood in favor of balance, your own balance here. Let's get the blocks or barriers. So I'm getting the Ten of Wands, which is a lot of burdens and responsibilities. And so when it comes to your home environment, if you work a lot and your work is maybe outside the home, and you're kind of kept away from the home environment, that's what I'm getting here with the Ten of Wands. And so it's more about spending the time that you need to at home and really just embracing happiness and joy and balance in your life and eliminating all of these things that prevent that from happening. I'm getting the Strength card, finding that strength within you. King of Wands, taking an action. It feels like you will, though. These don't feel like they're going to be blocks that are permanent. These are things that you're going to easily be able to work through. What's the advice here for your home? Right away, the World, closing out a cycle. So there's something here connected to your home environment. It's an ending, whether it's releasing an actual location, moving to a different location, releasing pain connected to the past, maybe even childhood. It's really so that you can have that more balanced, happy life that you want for yourself. The Hanged Man, seeing things from a different perspective. And so as part of, because I got your ascension process very early on, so there's an impact here on your home environment, really seeing the big picture as it relates to your home and the effect it has on you. Taking a look at all of that is going to help you identify what needs to go and then work towards it. I'm also getting the Seven of Cups. I'm getting a lot of opportunity opening up, a lot of options moving forward. So removing the pain of the past really does free you of those responsibilities, of that burden that you're carrying around, so that you're able to embrace more happiness going forward. And it feels like you're doing it. You're going to work through this for the rest of the year. I'm actually getting it won't take you that long, not all year, but it's going to take you the majority of it. I'm not getting a solid time frame, but it feels like it's going to take you a lot of the next 6 months. The next house is the fifth house. So the fifth house is the house of pleasure and fun and sex. So short-term relationships here, short-term, anything that doesn't lead to marriage. This would also be children, a result of sex, anything that you enjoy doing. So hobbies, passions, creative projects, all of that is really part of the fifth house. So the fifth house is in the sign of Taurus for you. So Taurus is a very grounded, very practical standpoint. Approaches things from the viewpoint of, is this what I want? Is this what I value? And then kind of moves in that direction. So even when it comes to those relationships that don't lead to marriage, you might find yourself attracted to very attractive people, but also those that are just very grounded and sensual, just all the Taurus energy here, hardworking. So let's get your overall energy for the fifth house for the rest of the year. So you're making changes in your fifth house, but you're not alone. There is another person showing up. So I'm getting the Queen of Swords. So right away, this is coming across as your energy, regardless of the gender. This is how you're coming across. You're making some necessary changes as it relates to what you enjoy doing, where and really how you spend your free time. That Queen of Swords, it's the Queen of Swords. I'm getting the Seven of Swords, but I'm also getting the King of Swords. I'm getting a lot of clearing the air. There's a lot of conversation happening here, clearing the air, getting to be on the same page as another person. The Seven of Swords in the middle feels like a truth that needs to come out. Having some sort of open, honest conversation here. Let's get any blocks or, well, any challenges here in the fifth house for the rest of the year. What are the challenges? So what I'm getting here is the World, closing out a cycle. So it could be with another person, just getting to be on the same page, just closing out whatever happened here. Ace of Wands, so that you can take some sort of action going forward after releasing this Four of Cups energy. So sadness and disappointment. It's a lot of whomever this other person is, it's coming together, working through whatever happened and finding a way to let it go so that you can move forward. That's the challenge. Let's get the advice here for you. So I'm getting the Queen of Wands, which is taking action. I'm getting the Moon that aligns with your emotional best interest. The Moon is your emotions. And then Three of Wands, being patient. I'm not getting anything else out of this. Okay. So whatever it is that you end up resolving and putting it behind you, you then are free to move forward and go after exactly what you want. It just may take some time. Okay. So the next house is the sixth house. That sixth house is your daily life, your daily routines. So what kind of work hours do you keep? What days do you work? What kind of consistency are you looking at here? Because it really is about the things that you do on a regular basis. So anything from the hours that you work to the type of health and wellness, the eating, the food and your meal times, all of that is part of the sixth house energy. And so the sixth house for you is in the sign of Gemini. And so that Gemini energy likes to get to the truth of a situation. And so when it comes to your daily routine, Gemini is also a mutable energy. So it likes to change things up. So if it's like a health and wellness program or anything that you might follow, you may not do the same routine every single day. In fact, you probably don't like to do the same routine every single day. You need variety here with that Gemini. You also might do a lot of communication in your daily life. because that Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and there is definitely communication with Gemini. So let's get your overall energy for the rest of the year. So I'm getting the Ace of Pentacles, which indicates building something long-term and stable, but this feels like it's a new start or some sort of new beginning. Two of Swords, standing at a crossroads, not sure what path to choose. Six of Cups, could be connected to children, maybe something from your past, but definitely the nostalgia here. You're looking to create something that is long-term and that aligns with your happiness. You're just at a crossroads, not sure what to do. So let's get the challenges here for your sixth house. So I'm getting the Queen of Swords, which is clarity. Not surprised. You don't have it. That's the Two of Swords. But the clarity is coming here. Tower and Temperance. So Sagittarius energy, a lot of balanced energy. It's the Tower. The Tower is actually going to remove the block and barrier, quite frankly, is you not being able to make a decision. You having that just, I'm not sure what path to choose, that kind of indecision, not seeing things clearly. All of that is going to be cleared up with the Tower. So when that Tower moment happens, things are going to become more clear. It's meant to leave you in a more balanced place with that Sagittarius energy. It's going to show you what is going to be in your best interest, which path you need to choose, because that's the one that aligns with your happiness here. So let's get the advice. So I'm getting the Four of Swords, which is some sort of ending here, and the Tower is going to be doing this. So when the Tower ends something, what it's doing, it's creating space for you to heal. Heal from something from the past, heal from whatever was clouding your vision. Queen of Cups is coming through, so a lot of self-love and self-care. Eight of Wands, opening up, communication, movement forward. And so what's happening is there is going to be an opportunity. It's going to happen out of the blue, and I'm not going to pull a timeline because it's divine timing and it's going to be different for everybody watching. But what is going to take place here is as soon as this Tower moment happens, you're able to see clearly, but you need to do some internal work here, focusing on your emotional needs. And that's going to help you figure out what path to choose and then start going in that direction. So the next house is the seventh house. Seventh house is those one-to-one relationships. So if you're married, it would be your marriage partner. It's also all of those significant relationships in your life. And it doesn't just have to be marriage. It could be business too, like a business partnership of some sort. Could be contracts, negotiations, anything connected to maybe divorce, lawsuits. All of that is part of the seventh house, because marriage is a contract, and so it's all part of that house. For you, it's in the sign of Cancer. And that Cancer energy is very loving, very nurturing, supportive energy, lots of emotions here. So as it relates to your interactions with other people, there's a lot of taking care of each other's needs, meeting each other on that emotional level. So let's get your energy for the rest of the year. One more. So I'm getting the Magician, which is about manifesting the relationship that you want. Could even be any relationship again. So it could also include any contracts and negotiations. You could be manifesting the contract that you want, or the negotiations go the way that you want. Queen of Wands, taking action based on the goals that you set for yourself. Two of Wands, based on the potential that you see in the situation. So I love how this is kind of all coming together, because the Magician and the Two of Wands really are about planning. How do I make my dreams real? I can see them off in the distance. What do I need to do to go after them? And then you do. So I love the way that's playing out. So let's get your Any obstacles and challenges here in your 7th house? So if you're leaning towards marriage, take it as it resonates. What I'm getting here is the sun. So the sun is hope, it's optimism, it's future energy. That does not feel like a real block. King of Wands. King of Wands is coming through. So I have the Queen of Wands in the overall energy. King of Wands showing up here in the obstacles and challenges. And what I'm really getting here is the Hanged Man. There may be pause or delay. So as far as you going after what you want, yes, you're going to take steps to do that. However, if another person is involved, because this is the house of partnerships, the other person is delayed. The Hanged Man energy just indicates needing to see things from a different perspective. There will be movement forward here with that sun and that King of Wands. That is not an energy that is meant to sit still. It's just a matter of timing. So let's get the advice for you here in the 7th house. So I'm getting the 3 of Swords, which is about healing from some sort of heartbreak here. Temperance energy, Sagittarius energy. So it's being able to see the big picture, but there's an emotional balance that's connected to it. And so you're focusing on the big picture. You're being encouraged to focus on the big picture. The other person that you're dealing with is kind of in that space right now too. I'm also getting the 8 of Wands, which is forward movement. And so just keep moving forward. Keep going after exactly what you want. Keep working on yourself, focused just on, you can only control you. So it's about focusing on you. So the next house here is the 8th house. The 8th house it's money. It is other people's money. So think of the money that you earn from an employer, the money that you pay out for your debts, your spouse's income if you're married. This would be any kind of inheritance, taxes, anything along those lines. It's also the house of death and rebirth, power and control issues, although power and control issues usually are connected to money in some way. So the sign of Leo rules your 8th house, and 8th house is very charismatic energy. So when it comes to maybe the type of work that you do, you might be a very charismatic person because it's the money that you earn. So if you're in some sort of leadership role or something along those lines, there's a lot of action connected to that Leo energy. Could indicate maybe creatively the way that you earn money. So take it as it resonates for you. Get your overall energy for the 8th house. So I'm getting the Hierophant, Taurus energy. So I'm getting a lot of harmony and balance, but this could indicate that if you are married or you're in a relationship that leads to some sort of traditional union here, that would be highlighted. So 8th house energy, I'm getting like a combination of assets is how it's coming across. So take it as it resonates for you. But the Hierophant, if you're not even in a marriage and you don't want to be, not everybody does, this would indicate you're aligning with your spiritual path and you're kind of leaning into all the change and transformation that you need to in order to make this happen, which would also be that Leo energy, that very charismatic, confident, I'm going to do this and nothing is really going to stop me energy. I'm getting King of Swords, a lot of clarity, and the Sun, Leo energy showing up. And so focusing on the future, moving in that direction, maybe even communicating in some way. If you're communicating as part of the work that you do, and that's a way that you earn money because that's how it's coming through, this would indicate here that your communication style creates a lot of harmony and balance, that it aligns people together, brings people together in some sort of way with maybe some sort of hope and optimism for the future. That's how the next 6 months are unfolding. The change here, whatever is happening, is very positive. So let's get the obstacles and challenges. So I'm getting the 10 of Cups, which is long-term emotional fulfillment. Page of Cups, you talking about your feelings. And the Four of Cups, the sadness and disappointment. So if you're in this space of finding harmony and balance, because the Hierophant energy is bringing people together, if you find that your voice is not as loud, or that you're not able to really express exactly what you're thinking, what you're feeling, or what you want, that would be the obstacle and challenge here. But something here is changing, where maybe you're considering other people's needs before your own, or something along those lines. Let's get the advice here for you. So marriage has shown up and everywhere in this reading. So if you're not married and you want to be married, it feels like you're trying to work through any perceived obstacles or challenges here. Because what I'm getting in the advice is the Magician. Magician is about manifesting goals and dreams. Four of Wands, some sort of union. So marriage, if that's what you're interested in, or a reason to celebrate. The Fool, a new chapter, new beginning. I'm getting a lot of this kind of me versus we coming through in this 8th house. So some of the change and transformation that you might be undergoing is really considering somebody else's needs as in tandem with your own, or maybe even before your own. And that may be one person specifically, or it may be a collective. But I am getting the sense here that something internally to you is shifting, so that it's not just you. You're not the only priority in your life anymore. So take it as it resonates. I say that because of all the marriage cards showing up, which would indicate that you're prioritizing the union, or finding a way to kind of work together with this other person so that you're both happy. The next house is the 9th house. So the 9th house is growth and expansion. It is higher education, long distance travel, philosophy, religion, anything that you would do to grow and expand your mind. So even interacting with people from foreign countries, learning about different cultures here. That 9th house is in the sign of Virgo. So the Virgo energy is very analytical. So when it comes to any kind of growth and you seeking some sort of growth, this would indicate you do a lot of research. You analyze data, you figure out what is going to be in your best interest. That's how you figure out what your next steps are going to be. Maybe a little bit too much analyzing and thinking, because that Virgo can easily get trapped in the mind. So take it the way that it makes sense to you and just the life that you're living. But right now, because we are in that Pisces Virgo eclipse season, the South Node is in the sign of Virgo. And so there are things that you need to let go of from a higher education, or some sort of, could even be connected to philosophy or religion, old ideas, old things that you believe to be true, old ways of living. All of that may be something that you need to release during this eclipse cycle. And we're in this for another year. So let's get 2 more on your overall energy. So I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune. This is actually the Wheel of Fate. So the nodes are represented here with the Wheel of Fortune, but this indicates growth and prosperity. So something here is shifting. Whatever it is that you're being challenged to let go of, it's actually for the best. This Wheel of Fortune indicates that whatever this wheel is turning and overturning, really is in your best interest. It's opening up a new opportunity with this Ace of Cups to go after something that is going to be emotionally fulfilling for you. Hanged Man, seeing things from a different perspective. It's part of your ascension process. Part of what you're learning is about seeing things from another perspective. It's 9th house energy really kind of coming through here loud and clear, where you're being shown how to perceive things differently, that maybe what you believed wasn't real, or it's not true anymore. Things have changed so much. I mean, we're in a period of time where there is rapid change. And so it feels like it's you embracing this rapid change, really seeing things from that new perspective. So let's get the obstacles and challenges here in your 9th house. So I'm getting the Justice card, Libra energy. I'm not surprised to see this. It's because of the change. When you're going through these periods of change, it makes it really difficult to stay grounded and stay stable, which is what the Justice represents, that Libra energy. Page of Cups coming through. Page of Cups would be you talking about your feelings. Again, there's so much kind of volatility around that. Right now, the focus is on something different. It's not about on you specifically. It might be you in relation to the collective and how other people are perceiving things. Seven of Wands, standing up, fighting for what you want. Again, I'm getting a lot of me versus we in your reading. And so it's a lot of shift in your perspective, focusing on more of the big picture. So let's get the advice here for you in your 9th house. So I'm getting the Queen of Pentacles. So focusing on stability, long-term stability here. Unknown card. I'm getting kind of an expect the unexpected, but that you don't need to have all the answers. So it's not about knowing how everything is going to play out, which Virgo does like to do that. When it analyzes all the information, it is trying to predict all the next steps. That's not always going to be known to you. And so you need to embrace that. King of Cups. Emotional maturity. That is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man, when you're able to understand things from somebody else's perspective here, it shifts the way that you perceive things and emotionally respond to things as well. And so the stability, the emotional maturity, really just focus on, you don't need to have all the answers. It's really about more being present in the moment and understanding how things are unfolding. So that is the 9th house. The next house here is the 10th house. So that 10th house energy, it's your career and public reputation. So it's the career that you set out to do and are actively working towards. It would be all layers of the career, including leadership. Leadership is a component of that 10th house. But so is public reputation. So the reputation that you have, the one where your name is said and people know what that means. They know who you are based on your name and that reputation. It's actually bigger than your work environment. It's the public reputation. For you, it's in the sign of Libra, and that Libra energy likes harmony, likes balance. And so even from a work environment standpoint, it feels a lot like the Hanged Man that we've been picking up on is kind of already sort of embedded in your 10th house, where you're always looking for compromise, understanding other people's points of view. So let's get your overall energy for your career for the balance of the year. So I'm getting the 7 of Swords, which is secrets. It's also lies, manipulation, and deceit, but it feels more like a truth is coming out. And that truth, you'll see here in a minute, that you're going to take some sort of action against. Page of Wands. You're going to move in a direction based on whatever information that you're learning. Hanged Man, seeing things from a different perspective. That's consistently showing up here in this reading. And so whatever the ascension process is for you, you're going to continue to grow and expand over the next 6 months. All of the change that's taking place, it's about you leaning into the change, allowing yourself to really get the big picture. 6 of Pentacles, a card of generosity. It's opening you up. It's getting you to share with other people. Let's get the obstacles and challenges here for your 10th house. Magician, manifesting your goals and dreams. I'm not surprised. You're in this ascension. It's not about what you're trying to do for your own goals and dreams. It feels a lot like opening up to other people. Queen of Swords, clarity, seeing all the details. You're in this big picture perspective. Not surprised there. 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is a card of nostalgia. And so the obstacles and challenges here, I just feel like they're part of the process where You can be in the daily life, in the details there, and hearing and understanding everything that way, or going into that big picture perspective, understanding everything holistically, including your own happiness. And you're going to kind of ebb and flow back and forth between the energies here. What is the advice for you in your career? So when it comes to your career, if you're looking to take some sort of action, because you are with that Page of Wands energy, something here is being revealed. It's going to open you up to taking some sort of action, maybe even being generous with other people with your time. The advice here is really focusing on your long-term stability with that 10 of Pentacles. Ultimately, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? I know the Magician's about manifesting. It's showing up as an obstacle, but really get clear on exactly what it is that you want. High Priestess, trust yourself, trust your instincts. When it comes to taking whatever, taking the lead, taking some sort of action in connection to your career, trust your instincts on that. Ten of Swords, whatever happened in the past, leave it there. Ten of Swords is the end of a painful cycle. It is not something that you need to carry forward with you. It is really meant to be left behind. That feels like it's part of the information that you're going to learn over the next 6 months, and it's going to inform the actions that you're taking. But everything seems to be opening you up, expanding you in some sort of way, definitely spiritually expansion, but also it feels a lot like physical expansion too, where you're just maybe out there more in a public sense with that Six of Pentacles energy. You might even see financial improvements as well as a result of everything that you're doing, because I just got that message. And so the next house here is the 11th house. So this is the house of friendship. It's really your tribe. So could be friends, could be those family members that you choose to be around, that you enjoy spending time with, that maybe you consider friends. All those people that are around you by choice, you choose to be around them. It's not the individual relationships though, it's the collective. It's you in connection with those people. For you, it's in the sign of Scorpio. This would indicate a lot of loyalty among those friends, among your tribe, that you're only interested in people that are going to be loyal to you because you're loyal to them. There is a lot of loyalty that comes through with that Scorpio energy. And with that Scorpio energy, the relationships that you form with these people would be intense because of that loyalty. So let's get your overall energy for your house of friendship the rest of the year. One more. So I'm getting the Seven of Pentacles. So you're going to be investing in your friendships. It looks like there's a lot that's going to be happening here, and they are part of your ascension process. It's the soul connection that you have with these people. In some way, shape, or form, these people are part of your soul tribe. So maybe some of them are soulmates, take it as it resonates, where you had that instinctive knowing, I've known you forever, we've met in previous lives, however that plays out for you. But that Hanged Man energy is about seeing things from a different perspective. And it's showing you where you need to invest, but it's also showing you the world, what needs to close. And so there's things happening within your group of friends that feel like improvements in those relationships. Let's get any obstacles or challenges here in your friendships. Ace of Wands, which would be action. King of Pentacles, long-term stability. And Chariot, card of success. All of this feels temporary. It's because you're in the Hanged Man, that suspended energy. It does create pause or delay when you're in that Hanged Man energy. And so that would be not able to take some sort of action because I'm trying to observe it all. I'm trying to understand the big picture here before I move forward. And so that's really how the obstacles and challenges are coming through. They're connected to the Hanged Man. Let's get the advice here for you in your house of friendships. So I'm getting the Three of Wands, be patient. The Sun. So hope, optimism, the future, it's all going to play out the way that it's supposed to. Right now, you're just being encouraged to really lean into these friendships, make the necessary changes, let go of some sort of cycle here. I'm getting the Eight of Wands, which is forward movement. It's also open, honest, direct communication. And the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords, it feels like clearing the air. It's exactly how it feels. So if there are secrets between you and your friends, if there's things that you're keeping from them and you feel like that is holding you back in some sort of way, you're being encouraged to really open up about that. That feels like part of the transformation here, that if you've been keeping your friends at arm's length or you're just not opening up in a way that you feel comfortable doing, that might be part of what's changing here. Because I'm seeing a lot of growth showing up in your reading. It's the spiritual growth, the emotional growth, and again, the physical growth is coming through. And then the last house here is the 12th house. So the 12th house is the unseen. It is one of the death houses. This is your subconscious, escapism, anything that you do away from the public. That escapism could be anything from drugs and alcohol or just spending a lot of time in isolation. So again, this is you away from everybody else. This is in the sign of Sagittarius. And that Sagittarius energy, Sagittarius is the adventurer. And so it's interesting because there's a lot of hope and optimism connected to Sagittarius. It's a very optimistic sign. They're also focused on the big picture, all of the higher education stuff. And so you might spend a lot of time on your own, focused on those topics instead of doing them outward with other people. So take it as it resonates for you. Let's get your overall energy for your 12th house for the rest of the year. Two more. So I had three cards come out right away. I am getting, okay, interesting. Queen of Swords, King of Swords, and the Lovers. So that person's already shown up here in the reading. So you have a divine counterpart that is around you somewhere. It feels like you already know this person. If not, you're calling in this person. And that would be this Lover's energy, that as you raise your vibration and you go through your ascension process, subconsciously, you're putting out this very high energetic vibration that somebody else is responding to. And this person is coming towards you with that Lover's card. I'm also getting the Seven of Cups. So maybe spending time exploring your options, opening up to new opportunities here. And all of this is for a new beginning, a new chapter with the Fool card. And so you do have a new beginning. It's actually starting from within you. It's all connected to the Hanged Man. It's all connected to this ascension process. The more that you lean into just your spiritual journey, the more opportunity opens up, the higher you raise your vibration and you call somebody in who matches that vibration. So let's get the obstacles and challenges here. So I'm getting the Queen of Wands, which is action, not surprised. This is the house of kind of the unseen. So a lot of this is going to be subconscious. Outward action would be a challenge. The Two of Pentacles, balance. It's because of everything here that's shifting. Not surprised to see that one either. And then the Tower. The Tower is, it feels like it's removing any blocks and barriers that you have as part of your spiritual process and journey, which would all be part of that 12th house. All of that would be also the occult. So any kind of tarot, astrology, all of that is 12th house energy. So let's get your advice here for the 12th house. Oh my gosh, I love this. So I'm getting the Moon, which is your emotions. So focus on your emotional well-being. The Four of Swords, it's healing. Healing after some sort of ending. The Four of Pentacles, your stability. And the High Priestess, this is your entire spiritual journey. The way that the advice is coming through is what you're doing is healing, working on your spiritual foundation, aligning with your intuition. So the more that you trust yourself, the more that you respond, and the louder your intuitive voice gets. I mean, your 12th house, that is that very spiritual house, really is highlighting the progress that you're making on a spiritual plane. It's creating this new stability within yourself because those middle two cards are fours. So you're definitely leaning into that Hanged Man. That is for sure. It showed up repeatedly. So what I'm going to do now is just get any last messages or anything else you need to know around the next 6 months. Anything else for Capricorn here for the rest of the year? I love it. Queen of Wands, taking some sort of action, but it's based on all the information that you're learning. So the Hanged Man energy is you're using this to your advantage. You're using this to inform all of the actions and the decisions that you make going forward. So the more that you lean into it, the stronger this becomes, the better the actions are, the more aligned with hope and optimism. The sun is coming through. So things are moving in the right direction. So keep doing whatever you're doing. Any nudges that you're getting from your guides or the universe, listen to them. Ace of Wands, because you have a new beginning here and it's based on everything that you're learning, all of the information that you're absorbing and understanding. You're using that to create a new journey for yourself. I love this. So Capricorn, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.